check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow Unboxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, man, we back. Goodfellow Sports TV. Make sure that subscribe button, bell icon button. Don't miss another video. We on the road. And let's talk about Teofimo Lopez, man. And you know, that performance last night. And I do think it's a lot of overreaction to his performance. Mayoshi Tanaki, whatever his name was, if I butchered it, I apologize, was a really good fighter, man. You know, he could be a better fighter just if he learned how to leverage his punches better and keep people at the end of his punches. He got the body work down packed for a taller guy with longer reach. But if he learned how to really be aggressive with his stick and his straight punches and learn how to check hook, he gonna be all right. I'm telling you, he's a really good fighter. And fighting a taller fighter for a smaller fighter, for a shorter fighter, can cause some problems if the taller fighter can maintain the distance for the night. And it's hard for them to come in. And that guy had some knockouts last night. Mayoshi, he had some knockouts on his resume. If they were reasonable or not, he had enough power to get Teofimo Lopez respect. And a lot of people gonna say, oh, he overrated and blah, blah, blah. The nigga is a prospect. He a prospect and they trying to make him a contender before him. This is what happens. When you are 1 or 2, 3 years pro or 4 years pro, whatever you want to say, when you're in the beginning stage of your career, you supposed to have holes in your game. Was Floyd Mayweather a finished product year 1, 2, 3, 4? No. Roy? No. Sugar Ray Robinson? No. Sugar Ray Leonard? No. If you secure Stevenson, Devin Haney, Jerron Ennis, Daniel Du Bois, F.N. Jabway, you're supposed to have holes in your game. No way you a finished product first 3 or 4 or 5 years of your career if you're an elite level prize fighter that's going to have longevity in his career. And if you look at Michael Nunn's, and shout out to him who just got released not too long ago, and for people who know, Michael Nunn, he had like, I think 30-something fights before he got his first world title shot. It was like 25 or 30-something fights. It takes time to develop these things. You can't develop everything in the gym. You can simulate 12 rounds. You can go 15 rounds and interchange your sparring partners. But you only get that experience in the ring. And a taller fighter, that's difficult, especially if that taller fighter got a good jaw like him and he can keep his distance and control the range for the most part of the fight he did. But everybody said, oh, he's overrated. I told you guys Teofimo Lopez was, you know, all of a sudden, all these no name boxing fans who don't know shit, who go to these fake boxing channels who just want to do it for clout and do it for the dollar, right? They don't know how to teach nothing. Business, A side, B side, C side, nothing. They the ones that started this shit. They the ones that started it. You know what I'm saying? Hyping niggas up, thinking niggas ready before they're ready. They're not. Lopez was not ready for Lomachenko, not ready for him right now. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Lomachenko had almost 400 amateur fights and he 5 or 7 fights over the World Series of Boxing. Then he got what, 13, 14 professional fights. That's a lot of experience. Lopez gonna get better from this. Not better enough to beat Richard Commey? You know, that's a conversation I can have right now because I got time. Apparently, they shut the freeway down in 2 lanes. But before I get to the Commey talk, I mean, like people just he got exposed and this and that. They were saying that about Bud when he fought Jose Benavidez. It's tough fighting a taller fighter, especially when you that young in your career. It take a little time. You punching up. Especially if you don't systematically break the taller fighter down from the midsection. And if he can control distance and range, and he got enough power to keep you at bay, you don't want to come through that front door and get popped. Now, could Lopez did something different? Yeah, he could have used his jab more. He should have countered Mayoshi's jab more. Came over the top more. Keep his hands up. Use lateral movement more. He went backwards too much. He should have been using angles. And had he used angles and stepped around and not loaded up on shots, see, you can't really use angles and be effective when you loading up on shots. That's if you notice in Pacquiao, his prime, really he would use angles and get off the speed punches and then mix in the power punches. And when guys were already still turned one way, Pacquiao was already at their shoulder, firing off like a drum, changing the speeds of his punches. And I'm not saying Lopez need to do that per se, but he need to change the speed of his punches more often. Because you loading up on one shot, he don't have that type of Mike Tyson type power, George Foreman type power, where he gonna get elite contenders out or contenders out like that. But had he worked the body, had he worked the stick, had he countered Mayoshi's jab more and came over the top, or jabbed with him to take his jab away, jab to the stomach, came over the top with the right hand and kept his hands up, and really, really changed the speed of his punches more, he probably would have stopped that guy. But he didn't. That guy seen every punch that he had coming. He didn't hide. He didn't dress him up or nothing like that. But I'm talking about Richard Commey, the Richard Commey fight. He can win it. He definitely can. But he gonna have to put Commey on the back foot to get his respect early. And he got to keep his hands up. When you got to fight a rhythm, then you can go into the shoulder roll when you got a feel for what they doing, what their speed is, and how they want to fight. But if you fight Richard Commey, he gonna need to pick that stick up some more, a lot more. He gonna need to jab, 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 double jab. And I don't know what happened to the jab to the chest. That's a forgotten punch. But he gonna need to use that. That jab is gonna be very, very important. And changing the speeds of his punches is gonna be another very important thing. You can't load up on every shot because they see it coming. Once you change the speed of your punches and touch them, and then maybe throw a couple 2-3 combinations, then hit him with the boom. But he got a lot of work to do before he get in that ring with Commey, and he need to take a vacation, and he need to work on body work versus Commey, slow him down. But it's not an impossible feat. It's not impossible. But he gonna have to get away from that right hand. That's gonna be picking them hands up and learning circle to his left away from Commey right hand. He got to be prepared for that, but it's an adequate fight. I wouldn't go ahead and write him off after that performance. That's something that you need. You gonna have tough fights, even though that fight was scored wider than what it was. But you gonna have tough fights. That's just what it is. You gonna have tough fights, and those type of fights is needed. He might need 2 or 3 more type of Mayoshi Tanaki fights to be ready for elite competition. But he said he ready. But remember, I told you guys this before, and I'm not sure that Richard Commey gonna beat that guy, because they get to the drawing board and they see what they did wrong. But if they don't and they arrogant enough, and he just, like he said, he just need to tune some things. No, you need to do more. You need to do a major tune-up on some things. Picking them hands up, picking the radio jab up, Teofimo Lopez, and changing the speed of your punches and using angles. You need to be learning right now, looking at film, how to take away Richard Commey right hand. That's what I'll be looking at. And to take away the right hand, start from circling away from it. And it also start with a jab. It also start with trying to counter the right hand. But like I said before, it'll be real interesting. But I ain't writing the kid off. That's the way I told you guys that people say, Lopez is beating Lomachenko. Even guys that that I respect their boxing opinion, I'm telling them like, no. Then they coming back saying, oh yeah, he can't beat him. I was like, I told you that, man. I told you that he ain't ready for him right now. But everybody think they know what the fuck they talking about. You can't tell these dudes nothing. And then the narrative changed. Then they fickle with their opinion. Then they jump off the band where he overrated. After his first step up fighting going 12, no prospect that young or contender that young, in age and just experience is a finished product. And like I said before, man, it's getting hard to talk boxing. There's a lot of illiterate boxing fans out there, and I mean boxing, they not boxing literate. You know, I've been watching boxing over 20-something years, man. And I've seen the best of them lose, and I've seen the youngest of them lose, and I think Lopez still got a bright future. Even if he loses to Commey. You know, he a high confidence guy, and usually when you kind of crack their confidence, they shatter, and sometimes they never pick those pieces back up, but we'll see. But I wouldn't write him off versus Commey, man. He really got to work on those things I said he need to work on. But y'all know what it is. Goodfellas Sports TV. I appreciate the love and support from everybody out there. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow Unboxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaps, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, much, much more. Website, promo code, description. Use that, get 18% off the 100% all natural products. Don't forget, we on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email. We got business question, inquiry, response. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video one time for the one time. Y'all know what the big piece is. Goodfellas Sports TV. We go.